Months before Mike Williams went missing, his wife took out a $1 million life insurance policy on him. And what makes things more suspicious is the man who helped her write the policy.
Did alligators really devour duck hunter Mike Williams? Or did Mike fall victim to another kind of man-eater?
I believe he was killed, and I believe that his body was taken somewhere else, and I believe that his truck and boat was left over there, staged over there.
How much insurance money did his wife get?
There were two insurance policies, one that was written about 6 months before he went missing. That was for $1.5 million. We don't know if Mike ever knew that this insurance policy was taken out, though it was filled out as if it was him.
Retired Jackson County Sheriff Derek Webster inherited the case 4 years after Mike vanished.
If it hadn't been for his mother, a criminal investigation would have never been opened. It would have been a missing person that was never found.
It was Mike's widow, Denise, who was the beneficiary of a huge life insurance policy.
You encouraged Mike to buy as much life insurance as possible.
Sure.
His old boss, Clay Ketchum, was like a father to Mike.
And he said, "What would be your advice?" And I said, "Mike, given your age at life and given your risky behavior, I would buy all the life insurance I could."
What was Brian Winchester's role in all of this?
Brian Winchester sold insurance.
Brian Winchester was close pals with Mike and Denise.
Is that suspicious?
To me, yeah. Brian Winchester had sold him a life insurance policy.
The suspicion is that his wife went ahead and did this with Brian, and Mike was unaware of it.
Clay Ketchum said alarm bells went off for him too when Mike first went missing.
And Brian Winchester called me. He said, "There's a new development, and the Game and Fish Commission, or FWC, believes that he may have been eaten by an alligator."
You thought it was possible that he drowned until you heard the alligator story.
Yeah, the alligator story was when I started wondering as to whether Mike was really in that lake.
There was another thing investigators found curious. Mike's shotgun, the one that was found in the empty boat. It's not for duck hunting, and Ketchum says Mike kept all his guns in the office for safety. To enter after hours, a personal password is needed to turn off the alarm.
Do you have any record or any way of knowing whether he actually came in here to get his shotgun?
I can't tell you Mike Williams came in here. I can tell you that the door opened, Mike Williams' code was inserted.
Ketchum regrets never telling investigators at the time that Mike had a terrible secret weighing on his shoulders. The seemingly perfect marriage to his high school sweetheart Denise was on the rocks.
Mike had confided in me 30 days prior to his disappearance that there was some issues within the marriage.
What kind of problems were Mike and his wife having?
You know, I don't really know. It had something to do with finances, I know that, and it was having to do with a credit card charge, and it exceeded the limit that Mike and Denise had set for themselves. And that was bothersome.
Bothersome in which way? I mean, my guess is it wasn't Mike who charged the money.
And that it wasn't something that he would have necessarily agreed to. I think it had to do with like a trust issue.
The huge life insurance policies would likely assure Denise that she'd never have to pinch pennies again. But there was another theory that surfaced about what could have happened to Mike. Did he fake his own death?
It wasn't long after his disappearance, several folks raised the idea that because of Mike's good salary at that age, could he have used some of that money just to leave, start a new life? If people knew Mike, you know, that's really kind of a stupid thing to say. Mike was extremely devoted to his daughter, Ansley, when he disappeared. And Mike's bond with his mother and his brother, you know, were extremely strong.
The ink was barely dry on Mike's death certificate when his mom found out that her daughter-in-law was having a torrid affair with her son's best friend, Brian Winchester.
We were told on numerous occasions that Brian and Denise were having an affair before he went missing.
Before the husband went missing?
Mm-hmm.
In fact, Brian Winchester actually got a divorce and married his best friend's wife.
There's enough pain here with the disappearance of your brother, but add to that
His wife then goes and marries his best friend, and then they are living in your brother's old house.
There's a lot of anger because I know they're sitting in over $1 million.
Was it like a dagger in the heart when she married your brother's best friend?
It was.
It seemed the grieving widow was now the merry widow with a new hubby. Up next, I went to Brian's insurance office to get his side of the story.
Brian Winchester, it's Anna Garcia from Crime Watch Daily.